Imagine this. Your cloud server is quietly hijacked and rented out to crash websites all over the world. You don't even know it's happening. That's the reality of a new botnet called ShadowV2. Today, I'll explain how it works, what it means for countries, and how you can stay safe. Here's what we'll cover. First, what a DDoS attack is. Second, what DDoS-as-a-Service means. Then a case study of the ShadowV2 botnet. We'll look at the misconfigurations that let attackers in, the consequences for countries, the attacker's objectives, and finally, what you need to do to stay safe whether you're a techie or just a regular internet user. What is DDoS? DDoS stands for Distributed Denial of Service. Think of thousands, even millions of computers sending junk traffic to one website all at once. The site becomes so overwhelmed it just can't respond. That's a DDoS attack. Now, what's worse? DDoS-as-a-Service. This is when attackers rent out their botnet, a network of infected computers, to anyone willing to pay. You don't need to be technical. You just pay, click a button, and crash a target website. It's like hiring an army of vandals online. Let's look at ShadowV2. Researchers recently discovered it targeting cloud servers, specifically Docker containers running on Amazon Web Services, or AWS. Here's the problem. When Docker is set up incorrectly, the attackers can slip in, deploy their malware, and turn your server into part of their botnet. ShadowV2 isn't amateur work. It has a professional dashboard. It automates spreading malware. And it offers an interface for customers to launch attacks. In other words, it's a full-on DDoS for hire business built on top of stolen cloud servers. Now, what do these insecure setups look like? I won't show any exploit commands, just the mistakes that make it possible. Number 1, Docker running on the public internet with no password, no TLS, no authentication. If your Docker API is open on port 2375 to the world, it's basically an unlocked door. Number 2, AWS security groups that allow access from anywhere 0.0 for critical ports. That means anyone on the planet can knock on your door. Number 3, using root or long-lived static credentials inside your containers. If an attacker gets in, they can steal those keys and spread further. Number 4, running containers in privilege mode or mounting host file systems directly. That's like handing the attacker the keys to your entire machine. Why does this matter beyond one company? Because massive botnets become national threats. Governments and banks can have their websites knocked offline. Critical infrastructure can be disrupted. And when DDoS attacks cross borders, it fuels political tension. One country blames another. Sometimes attackers even fake their origin to confuse investigators. On top of that, the cost. For businesses, downtime means lost revenue. For countries, it means billions in damages and a shaken public trust. In today's digital landscape, understanding the motives of attackers is crucial. Primarily, their goal is to accumulate wealth through various means, such as renting out botnets for profit. These malicious networks enable them to execute a range of nefarious activities with ease. Additionally, the scale of operations has grown exponentially, thanks to the power and accessibility of cloud servers, which can be controlled in bulk. Flexibility is another key aspect. Compromised servers can be utilized for diverse purposes, from launching DDoS attacks to mining cryptocurrencies or storing stolen data. Defending against these threats is paramount for anyone running servers or working in IT. The first line of defense is ensuring that your Docker API is not exposed to the internet. Binding it locally or securing it with TLS and authentication shuts the door on potential vulnerabilities. Tightening AWS security groups is vital. Open access like 0.0000 should be avoided unless absolutely necessary. Implementing IAM roles and least privilege policies keeps root keys away from containers, while avoiding privileged containers reduces risk exposure. Regularly patching your Docker software and underlying operating systems is another effective strategy to stay ahead of threats. For non-technical users, cyber hygiene is essential. Always utilize unique passwords alongside multi-factor authentication to fortify your online presence. If your business leverages cloud services, ensure your IT provider has hardened their containers against attacks. Lastly, if a website is down due to a DDoS assault, remain calm and report the issue to your provider. Do not attempt to combat the attack independently. Awareness and preparation can turn the tide against this evolving threat landscape.